Hello, everyone. It is morning time here in Nevada, and I know for some of you it is afternoon time. But as you know, I like to jump on and do something called coffee moments as a source of inspiration for us as special needs parents. I am Dawana Golden, the founder and executive director of Special Shades of Color, and we are a nonprofit organization where we promote mental and emotional wellness for special needs parents, but we do so through multimedia and easily accessible sources such as our videos, our website, social media. And so I wanted to come to you today to discuss a topic that is near and dear to my heart, and it is the fact that you are not optional, you are a requirement. So before I get started, I want you to share this out. I'm going to actually share this out on my personal page. So if you give me a minute and let me do that, and then we'll jump right in to the conversation. Okay? So remember, we're discussing you are not optional. You are a requirement. And I think a lot of times we forget that. We give so much and we forget ourselves in the process. So I'm going to share this out real quickly. And I just want to say thank you for tuning in. Thank you for always coming to the website and enjoying our content and giving us feedback. But I wanted to discuss something because I woke up this morning and immediately I began to compare and contrast what my life was like the first few years of CJ being born, and then compared and contrasted that to about a year and a half ago, and then did another compare and contrast to what my life is like today. And I know what I'm going to discuss is something that a lot of us can relate to, and that's the early years of becoming a special needs parent. I know in the early years, probably the first, I would say even 5 years or more even, I was supercharged. When you get that diagnosis and you consider all the things that need to be in place for your child to thrive and grow and develop, you become supercharged, almost like this adrenaline rush. And I tackled therapy, doctor's appointments, schools, IEPs with a vengeance. And I felt my duty to be an advocate for my child, be his voice, and be a super mom, essentially, and handle everything. So let alone the things I had to do for CJ, but for the household at large. And in the early years, it's easy for us to do that because of the adrenaline rush, in terms of us just wanting to see our children grow and develop. You know, we have all these milestones. Milestones are ingrained in our heads. And typically, you know, when you're raising your typically developing children, these milestones aren't really as highlighted, right? Or as, to me, as important. But when you have a special needs child, that's what you're presented, this list of milestones, developmental milestones. And so you're supercharged. You want to check all the boxes. You want to make sure that you're doing everything that you can for your child. But what you forget in the process is that you forget yourself. You give up doing the things that you normally would do. You give up on taking care of yourself. You give up on your hopes and dreams. And then your child's life becomes all that you know. That's what encompasses your life. You give up. You give up. And you give up to a point that you're depleted. You're depleted. And it happens, you know, like I said, you start off supercharged as a new special needs parent, but eventually you hit a roadblock. And at that roadblock, there's a turning point where you can continue on that path of spiraling out of control, or you can make a decision to make a change. And for me, a year and a half ago, I hit a roadblock once again, and it happens periodically, right? You hit a roadblock, and I had to say, I am tired. I'm tired emotionally. I'm tired mentally. I'm tired spiritually. I'm tired. I have nothing to give. I have nothing to give to CJ. I have nothing to give to my other children in the household. I have nothing to give to myself. I was like, I'm not doing the things that I want to do in life in general. And I met this crossroads and I had to make a change. And that's when I decided to start implementing a wellness plan for myself, like hardcore. Typically, I would do certain things in my spiritual life and maybe start eating healthy, maybe do exercise here and there, but nothing really dedicated and committed. But a year and a half ago, I said, you know what? Enough is enough. I have to sow into myself. I have to remember my dreams and the life that I wanted to have, because I can still have that with CJ in my life, with my other kids in my life. I could still have all that I desire. So I decided to work out. I decided to take time for myself. That was my little woosah time when I worked out, when I would go for my daily walks, when I would go for my runs, either in the morning or the evening. Those were my times and my opportunities to sow into myself. And so what I want to encourage you to do is pick something maybe that you enjoyed years ago, prior to being a parent, prior to being a special needs parent. Pick something that will rejuvenate you, refresh you, give you joy, and something that's all for you. And it doesn't have to be something major. It doesn't have to be something major. It could be as simple as taking 5 minutes to write. Just write your thoughts out if that's what you enjoy. Maybe take 10 minutes to just play the song that you love and blast it in your living room and just dance. Small things that you can do that restores who you are as an individual, outside of being a mom, outside of being a dad. What restores you as an individual and makes you recall and love those things that you enjoyed so much right before? You have to do it. It's not optional. It's not maybe I'll do it. It's a requirement. It is a requirement. You have to honor yourself. You have to love yourself. You have to care for yourself. Prior to me making this decision, I gained a lot of weight. I didn't care what I ate. It was like fast food all the time. I just didn't, really honestly, I just didn't care anymore. I didn't care anymore. I just poured everything into being a mom, being a special needs mom to CJ. And it did a disservice to him. It really did a disservice to him. And now fast forward to me implementing this wellness plan. And sometimes you fall off the wagon, but it's easy now to get right back on, because now I know what life is like on the other side, what life is like when I take care of myself. Not only am I happier, but my household is happier. My kids have so much joy because of the energy that I deliver and bring to the household. The parents, we are at the forefront. We are the leaders of the household. So when we're restored, when we're happy, when we're joyful, when we know how to pick back up after having a tough day and restore the whole energy and spirit of the household, that really sows into your children through and through, and they'll carry that on in their life. So I want you, once again, to select one thing, just one thing, simple. I know when we hear self-care, we hear wellness, we roll our eyes like, how am I supposed to do that as a special needs parent? You know what? You have to, as a special needs parent, you have to do that for yourselves. And like I say, I cannot turn back. I don't want to look back. I don't want to replay that feeling of being depleted. It's really about resilience. And when you sow into yourself, you build up that resiliency. So even when you get knocked down for the day, or you get knocked down for the hour, when you get knocked down like that, you can get back up, start again. Say, okay, let's tackle this a new way. It's challenging, but let's tackle this a new way. There's so much more in store. It's not about being selfish, but it's really about being selfless, right? Part of being selfless, though, is that you have enough in you, right? You pour into yourself enough that you can give without even thinking about it. You can give to your child without even thinking about it because you've already filled up your tank for yourself, for your personal wellness. And so, like I say, just think of one thing that you can do, a simple thing. I don't want it to be something that you know that you can't do on a daily or a weekly basis. I want you to pick just one thing that you can do. Like I say, even if, sometimes I would even I had a walk-in closet, or I'll go into the bathroom, and I would just take those minutes to breathe. Just breathe. Because I was so tense throughout the day, trying to handle everything. As a mom, taking care of CJ, I will hold my breath. I walk around like this. And that's anxiety, it's stress. It depletes and diminishes you health-wise and physically. And so I had to really just take moments to shut everything out. Say, kids, don't knock on the door. Don't bother me. Give me 5 minutes. And I would just breathe. Or sometimes I just dance around. I'm silly. That's just the things that I do to replenish me. I write. I do my videos for Special Shades of Color. Those are the things that I love. Those are the things that really reminds me of who I am as an individual. And I want you to have the same thing. Same thing. Even I started wanting to do more reading. And so I even got this book called Wake Up to the Joy of You. Okay, I'm not sure. There you go. Wake Up to the Joy of You. And so I'm reading this book. And I'm actually going to share a review with you in the next week or so, a video review of the book, and let you know how it is. But it has 52 meditations in it. And so even if you can just pick one meditation, right, to read a day, even if it's that, start off with that. And I promise you it will make a difference. It will make a difference. Our lives are unique. And so that was my sole purpose when I started Special Shades of Color, is that I know what we face is unique. And some of the things that we hear in the mental health world or the wellness world or wherever we may hear it, sometimes does not apply to us, or sometimes it's not easy for us to do. So here I want to share things that are easy, attainable for us to do as special needs parents. We don't have a lot of time in the day, or a lot of alone time sometimes. But there are certain things that we have to make time for, just like everything else. We make time to brush our teeth, use the bathroom, do the little things. We may not be able to do so much grooming like we would like, but we take those moments. So wellness, doing something for yourself, that has to be routine. It has to be routine. Make it routine for yourself. You are not optional. Remember that. You're not optional. You're a requirement. So I want you to visit our website, www.specialshadesofcolor.org. We release a lot of videos of parents, actual parents, sharing their thoughts, their day-to-day lives, things that they do for mental wellness. And we also have something called the Wellness Toolbox, where we discuss different mental health issues, but also strategies and different methods that you can employ in your life to improve the quality of life for you and your family. So go to our website. You can also go to YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you'll receive notifications every time we release a new video. Just look up Special Shades of Color. You'll find our videos there and subscribe to our channel. We also have a private Facebook group for parents. We'll also allow family members to also join, but parents specifically, it's a Special Shades of Color parent room. So look that up and join us. We're growing the group, and it's where you can just vent to us, share, ask us questions, and get some insight, some feedback from other parents about questions you may have or life events that are happening. And it's another way for you to connect to our community. So I want you to join us in those areas, our website, YouTube channel, and our private Facebook group, okay? And thank you for tuning in. Remember, you are not optional. You're a requirement.